Ukrainians prefer to live near a siren.
Yeah.
They don't miss one.
Yep.
So we'll wait for them to have to make coffee for overnight.
More want to hear it.
They go want to hear it?
Want to?
Want to.
You guys at 30? You don't mind changing frame rates? Sun's coming out. Sunny day in Donbass. I photographed all through here. Yeah, really cool. Oh, they cleaned all this out. There's some really incredible photos inside that. It's just filled with junk and stuff. Real quick report. So we have drone nets across the city having to be erected because the Russians won't stop attacking the civilians. And so the workers out here right now are erecting the drone nets not just for the roads but also for the city. And you know, it's a pretty large area to have to protect, but because we have so many civilians here and this is a civilian hub, you know, it's very important. Дуже важливо, так.
Convoy now. If a drone comes at us from the front, we're fucked, but if it comes out from the back,
Fuck, man. Fucking Russians.
something's going to be in the background. I mean, you don't have to be directly filming it in a close-up to potentially show your stuff in.
What do you see?
Oh, you just see it's a good view. I mean, not for filming, I just made a good view. You can look at that.
Oh, the way the blades are going by?
Yeah.
Like that?
Like trenches on both sides.
at it, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a donkey.
3 years ago, I came here. Good friends of mine, a little over 3 years ago, September 2022. The Russians had been defeated. They were leaving the Kharkiv region. And yet we didn't know what was coming. Didn't know about the mass graves. Didn't know about all the torture chambers yet. Although we had our reasons to believe that the Russians would do such a thing. I had never seen these places at that time, but I've seen it many times since. This is Izyum, and one of the worst experiences I can think of to talk about is what happened in this town. The Russians held this city until September 2022. And after that, when we arrived with some aid, we began talking to people who had lived here at that time about what they had been through, what the Russians did. They had occupation of this place for at least from March until September 2022. And on the other side of this town is a carved out part of the earth that was mass graves where the people have been reburied. But the stories will take forever to tell. The destruction of the places that we have around here is insane. Right now even there's an air raid in the area we're about to head through, and Russians are still trying to dominate and conquest everything here. It's not over, you know? Places where people came to just live their lives. And you have right here, for instance, with people in the east of Ukraine that he's always talking about, you know? They are always talking about the poor people of Donbass and the Russian speakers. Well, this was Russian speakers. And look what they did. Could have just left this completely alone. Been good to the people. But that's not what Russia does. Russia's a terrorist state. I've interviewed people who went through this here. Went through the torture, went through trying to reclaim their lives, the occupation, the silence, the terror as they hid wherever they could hide. Because the Russians, not Putin. Putin doesn't fight. He doesn't come to the front. Where's Putin? Deviblet. Putin's not here. This is what Russians do. Don't blame just one person when it's taking millions of them to lose. This is Izyum. Andrei and I came back here more than once to deliver aid, and I still think about some of the people that we met along the way, some of the people we lost since then, including our friend Seraphim. But even now, it's insane what the Russians had to do to try to build the Ruski Mir, kill everybody, destroy everything. Why would you want to do this? Beautiful Izyum. Across here, over 400 people were found buried in the earth, killed by Russians.
Izyum doesn't look too fucked up at all. Right?
That's a very ironic way to hear that.
Maybe this area was not as badly damaged. I mean, obviously not where you're standing currently.
Do that again? Fucking small rig things. Mostly good product. No.
Don't call anyone. Well, we should be able to epoxy that and fix it.
Yeah.
shooting. It's pretty nice countryside. I can see why they don't want to hand it over.
Respect.
Yeah, see, this side of it is way more damage.
I forget where the buildings were blown apart are. If you want to try to find them. I feel like we're close. I'll have a position, but photograph that. September 2022, late September, in this tree line here on Shakespeare Street. War criminal investigators were pulling out over 400 people killed by the Russians in this town of Izyum. The names would take a long time to know, but only a handful of them were soldiers. They were all civilians. I think there was 9 soldiers out of 435 victims buried. I think that's the number. Should know by now, of course. And the world still keeps playing games, you know? 3.5 years later. Dobry Sobaki. I'll never forget being here with my friend and witnessing the pain of my dearest Ukrainian as his country mourned for those that were murdered here as we delivered more aid. And this forest will continue to be something a little different than your antiquity grave sites that you go to because of mass murders. This is fresh, 3.5 years ago. Shakespeare Street. Always threw me off that it was Shakespeare. I don't know why. Я не знал про це. But I remember these trees. Don't ever forget Izyum. Don't forget what they did.